outcome. Centering yourself, body, mind, and spirit, ensuring a balanced approach to trading, trust in your education, strategy, trade skills, and intuition. Imagine your trade successfully materializing, obeying your trading strategy, avoiding decisions based on greed or fear, and never looking back or stopping once your trade has commenced. All right. Um, so if everybody can hear me okay, drop me one in the chat and we will get moving. Perfect. Appreciate it. And this morning, right, we we got the election. Today's election day here in the US. So we not a ton going on. We'll take a look at obviously the fundamental side of things, see what things are there, talk about the Australian dollar a little bit regarding their interest rate decision. And then we'll look at dollar pairs, US indices, and then if you guys have anything you want me to take a look at, we'll go there. So um let's get to it. There we go. All right. Caution prevails as Americans head to the polls, right? European stock swings between small gains and losses, while U.S. futures hold steady as caution lingered with American voters heading to the polls in a closely contested presidential race. Meanwhile, the dollar traded flat to slightly lower, and government bond yields inched higher. All right. Um, so caution, caution, caution. Um, slow motion, slow motion, slow motion. So that's where we are there. Oil steadies ahead of the election. We did have a rate decision last night coming out of Australia. Reserve Bank of Australia kept its cash rate unchanged. Um, re, Retaining borrowing costs for the eighth straight consecutive gathering, matching the estimates. Central bank noted that while headline inflation was significantly declined, um, and is expected to remain lower for some time, underlying inflation remains too high. Right? This underscores the need to stay vigilant to upside risks to inflation, and the board is not ruling out in or out anything. Okay. Um, the board added that monetary policy will need to stay significantly restrictive until it is confident that inflation is moving sustainably toward the target range. All right. Regarding household consumption, the RBA noted signs of increased spending during Q3. However, there's a risk that any pickup may be lower than expected. All right. So that can lead to continued subdued output growth and sharper deterioration in the labor market. All right. So RBA continues to keep the narrative, staying cautious, and keeping rates where they are. Okay. Um, yeah. And then over to the calendar, right? This is where we are today. We got ISM services PMI, final services PMI, obviously the congressional elections today. Bank of Canada meeting minutes. And then we have employment change and unemployment rate for the New Zealand dollar. And then tonight at 6:50, monetary policy meeting minutes for the Bank of Japan. All right. So slow motion, but obviously the election today, we could later on this evening start to see some bouncing back and forth, depending on what those results from the election turn out to be or get close to turning out to be. So we'll continue to watch things there. For tomorrow, um, President Lagarde speaks. We got IVPMI for Canada, crude oil inventories. Um, Governor Orr speaks. Okay, so not a ton there. And then on Thursday, we got rate statement for the Bank of England, and then rate statement for the dollar on Thursday. Right. So second half of the week is where we could really see volatility after the election. Then we have rate statements coming in. So slow motion on the first half, back half, we could see some volatility there. All right. Benny, good morning, bro.
Ryan, good morning. Good morning, everybody. Happy Election Day.
Happy election day, man. Celebration tonight.
Yep, yep. We're gonna see.
Talk to me, man. Anything else top of mind for you? I know we've been slow motion, sitting back, watching and waiting and
No,
observing
that's
for the most
it,
part.
it's been all about the election to me, man. I mean, hey, those Aussie plays, pretty good. Because they decided to hold rates last night. But other than that, man, it's been all about this election. I just hope it's a decisive victory either way for the markets. Because anything close and tight that continues to go days and days beyond today is a problem for the markets. It creates a lot of uncertainty, and you know, I really don't want to see that. So
Yeah,
hopefully, there's a decisive victory tonight, and we can all keep it moving. So and go into the holidays with the markets, you know, running pretty good and trending. And direction doesn't matter, right? Just trend somewhere,
moving
uh,
somewhere.
so we can make our money.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Like I said, I just want to see it be decisive.
I'm with you on that, man. Definitely don't want to see this thing linger on with a ton of back and forth and additional debate. um, yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, Jerry says you can have Applebee's commercials come back. Um,
Huh.
Team, you guys got anything fundamentally top of mind for you or any questions from a fundamental perspective? No. No. All right, we'll do. Let's take a look at the dollar. And all right, you see here DXY pushing down at the moment, but you see just been moving back and forth, right? um, we have this level here. This should be lower. Boom. Daily support level there. Um, Stochastic on the daily time frame is in the buy zone. Got price pushing down. We'll see if we do inch down to this 103 level, all right? 50% retracement on the up fib, and see if we get a shift from there. So back to the 4-hour time frame, you see here, right? The 50% level comes in at the 618 retracement on the 4. Stochastic pushing out of that buy zone. All right. So we got a little bit of divergence with the price pressing down and stochastic pressure to the upside. So we'll watch and see, right? Just uncertainty overall. So we'll continue to monitor the dollar and see where things continue to move, right? But the thought is, could we see a push down for then a ride back to the upside? Okay. So that's the DXY. Let's go through some of these dollar pairs. Start with this dollar CAD. Daily time frame, zoom out, right? We're at the top of the range. Okay. Unless we get a breakout above, potentially looking for this retracement to come here, right? The capital fib, we got a 618 retracement. So overall, looking for price to rise, right? Things haven't changed with the Bank of Canada, but we've just been range bound for a couple years now, right? Since 2022, right? Came to the bottom of the range, back to the top, back to the bottom, back to the top. Now we're back at the top again, right? So do we come back down to the bottom of the range at some point, right? And as we zoom in, we'll drop down to the 4. And this is an 80-20 on the 4. Just ran a fib off the low. 80-20 here, daily resistance. We're pressing down, right? We do have a stochastic in the buy zone, so we could potentially get a pullback and then see if price continues moving to the downside here. Okay. Um, so that's what I'm looking at on this dollar CAD. But obviously, depending on how things go tonight, right? On the 1 hour time frame, you also have an 80-20, just as on the 4, looking for price to continue moving to the downside, either giving us a deep retracement or moving lower to the bottom of the range, depending on how the dollar fares through all of the back and forth in chaos. All right. We also have a rate statement on Thursday as well, right? So that would definitely impact prices as we move through the week. Okay. Questions on the dollar CAD?
Nope.
Cool deal. Dollar yen. Overall, still pressing to the upside. We broke this key level at 149,486. We know we got investors looking at that 160 level as potential intervention zone. We haven't gotten there yet, but we are expecting for the yen to continue to remain weak. Um, there were some talks over the past couple of days with some of the new individuals in leadership as they just finished those elections, and basically the narrative is shifting to the Bank of Japan should not raise rates before March, right? Before the next round of wage discussions. So that's the narrative starting to come out of Japan. Bank of Japan is still saying, "Hey, we're willing to make decisions where we believe we need to, as long as price continues to move as we expect it." So there's a little bit back and forth happening in Japan, um, where your politicians are giving their opinions on what they believe should happen. So we'll see if the Bank of Japan remains independent or if they move alongside the politicians and their opinions regarding interest rates. So that 160 level we definitely could see, but we might see a pullback first, right? We're starting to turn over here. We got to swing high. Got stochastic pushing down into the buy zone, right? So do we come back to this 149, 486 level and then give our next extension higher? Okay. Down on the 4. And this is what that looks like. 8-6 retracement if we get back down to that support level. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for. We'll see if we get it. Again, depending on how things go in the next couple of days with the dollar. But looking for retracements and continuations on this dollar yen to the upside. Okay. So not a ton doing at the moment, but just watching and waiting. I am expecting that A to get taken up on this 1 hour fib. So just watching and waiting, right? And seeing what happens as we move through the next few days. Okay. Questions on the dollar yen?
No.
No. All right. Cool deal. Gonna shift over to the Aussie dollar. And we know on the 4 we had that 80-20 that Benny posted last week. Right. And you see here prices starting to rise to the upside. Stochastic coming out of the buy zone. We got that swing low. And you see we're taking off to the upside. All right. Fresh AB boundary at that support level. Right. And you see price is rising. Okay. Coming down to the 4. This is that 80-20 that was posted. Shallow retracement, 118, 127 zone. It took its time here. And now we're starting to see that rise. So we'll watch and see if we get a break of that cloud, a retest, and then a continuation moving long. Okay. So we're in motion there. Um, hopefully some folks sat in that one, still sitting in that, and allowing price to do its thing and make that move back to the upside. Okay, so that one is starting to play out in our favor, and we'll continue to track it as it moves. George said, "Yep, yep, beautiful, beautiful." All right. So on this sub fib, we got 50% retracement, and we're headed to the matching D extension there. Okay. Then down on our 1, just running the fibs off the low here, tracking the ABCD waves to the upside. So pullbacks and continuations as we continue to move. Okay. So in motion, right? Got us in profit. And now we'll just continue to monitor that as it moves toward the target. Okay. Questions on the Aussie dollar? Nope. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Euro dollar. See, we're getting high in the zone on the daily. Okay. Got stochastic in the sell zone here. So watching to see how price moves, right? And do we start to get a move back down to the downside here? Or do we press higher first? Right. So watching this to see how this develops with the euro. Um, been moving for quite some time, not much of a retracement. So do we get one at some point here? Right. Or right, still also potential for us to move higher, getting us to this previous support level here and retesting that zone. Okay. You see it served as resistance here, served as support there. Okay. Struggled to break and close above here. Right. So this was key level. Right. So let's see, potentially, do we get another push to retest that level before we make that move back down to the downside? Okay. Coming down to the 4, deep in the zone on the 4 as well. Right. This is that. Let me make sure that that's correct. There we go. All right. So that level that we're looking at is in line with that A boundary. Okay. So not a ton coming out of the Eurozone from a fundamental perspective this week, but so be dollar driven, right? What happens with the dollar, what happens with the elections, and the rate statement on Thursday. Okay. So do we push up headed into Thursday? And then do we get that move back down? That's my thought. That's my thought. So we'll watch this and see how price responds at that 109, 514 level. Okay. Coming down to your one. Also got fibs running off the low here, right? Tracking the move to the upside. Had a nice little gap there, but we got a 618 retracement here, right? Didn't quite get to that 786 level. So matching extension is there in line, just above that 109 level, right? So this would be the key zone for us to watch and see how price responds. Okay. Boom. That's where we are on the euro dollar. Headed to the D extension. Okay. Questions on the euro dollar? Do.
Nope.
As you guys can see, not a ton really in our zone, but just want to go over these dollar pairs just so we get an idea of where things are from a from a technical perspective as we wait for the result. So this pound dollar pushing off the support level, right? Stochastic is in between. Okay. Um, so looking to see how this pound dollar, excuse me, how this pound dollar fares, right? Also got a BOE rate decision later this week as well. Okay. Same day as the dollar. So this one will be interesting to watch. Do we get to the top of this range, right? Previous resistance there. And then do we turn back over and make our way back down? Right. So watching this one to see how price responds in this range here. Coming down to the 4. There we go. This is my larger fib on this, right? Just missed that 118 level, trying to make its way down, right? And then we're trapped here. So do we get a push back up and then that move back down for a deeper retracement there, right? Which would give us potential crown pattern. Okay. So watching this here to see how things develop here, and if we do get back to this level, are we able to create a swing high and then make that way back down, creating that right tip? Okay. So looking to see how this one develops throughout the week. Okay. So that's on the 4, coming down to your 1. All right. See them move back to the upside. We did get to that 382, but opportunity for us to get deeper in that zone, coming back to this level at 131. So watching to see how this develops overall. Okay. But if you get this high price and price stalls in this zone, right, be looking for price, looking for that move back down to the downside, potentially in favor of the dollar. Uh, After we see how we fare with interest rates and the election. Okay. So potential crown pattern here on the pound dollar once we get back to this high price. So we'll watch and see. Okay. Questions on the pound dollar?
Nope.
Got it. Got it. Um, let's take a look at this New Zealand dollar. This one I haven't updated yet, so we'll go through and update together. See, pushing to the upside. Got an 80-20 scenario here on the 1 hour time frame. So we'll walk back real quick. And this is where we fare. 80-20 on the daily, stochastic in the buy zone. Right? We got the swing low to form. So do we get price to rise there? We got unemployment rates and employment rates for them coming soon. So what happens here? All right, and this is where we've been overall, range bound, right? We got a low price, 80-20 off this fib off the high. Do we get price to rise here? Okay, this weekly level, I believe I can take it out. Yeah, pull that out. Boom. That's what we look like. Okay. To the 4, it's a fresh B boundary, pushing to the upside. Right. Um, so do we get a ride here? Price tried to come back down to the buy zone, didn't quite get there. So are you able to get price to really pick up some steam and move to the upside here? We shall see. We shall see. Okay. Um, 1 second, everybody. All right. So that's on the 4 coming down to the 1. And there's that 80-20 again on the 1. Okay. Starting to push out of the zone. Been consolidating here for a bit. Do have a stochastic in the cells in the sell zone here, so we could continue to stay range bound through the day, which wouldn't be surprising, obviously, right? But do we get a break above and then a continuation higher there? Drop the cloud on. We are staying above the cloud. We don't have that Kumo twist in the bullish direction yet, so definitely could stay range bound here through the day and then see if we get a catalyst to push this further to the upside. And then we'll see what happens from there, right? But 80-20 on all 3 levels, right? So looking for a high price, and then we'll see if we get an opportunity to get back short, depending on how the dollar fares, right? And what the Fed has to say on Thursday. Okay. Questions on the New Zealand dollar? Easy peasy. All right. Cool deal. US 30. So you've been pulling back, right? coming back. We're retesting the cloud now. We got a stochastic in the buy zone. We'll see how things when the market opens. This will be interesting to watch as the day goes on, how the stock market really just responds, right? Do we get bounces back and forth, or do we just don't get any movement until the night starts to wrap up? So uh, this will be interesting to see how the day evolves. But we got that 618 retracement. So is this just a pullback for us to continue to accelerate to higher prices, getting us to this D extension of 44,075, right? So down to the four, come back out. That got taken out. So we'll run these off the lows. Boom, there we go. All right, so there's our 80-20, moving back down. All right, so how deep does this retracement go? We're sitting at a 382 right now. Do we get another push down? And are we able to get to our sweet spot and then get the bounce? Or do we bounce from where we currently sit? Um, yeah, or that joy, right? Or a large, large pin bar, or long wicks through the day. That could definitely be the case. Definitely be the case. Um, so, right, how does price move here? How does price move here? We got stochastic in the buy zone currently. So we'll watch and see how things fare. But we'd love to see price come down into our sweet spot so we get opportunity to buy here. Um, yeah, so we'll watch and see. Down to the one. Gonna run this fib off the high. Let's see here. So we'll come here. Just want to track these fibs just to see what type of action we got. Okay. That was the 80-20 to the downside. Boom. Right. Beautiful movement there, taking out the A. So we flip it, and this is where we are. So let's see if this 1 hour fib plays out for us, gets us to that low price that we're looking for. Okay. We'd love to see that. We'd love to see that move back down. So we'll watch and see how things evolve here. Okay. So that is the US 30. Potentially more downward movement, and then getting a low price to get back long. Questions?
No, sir.
Beans. Let's look at the S&P. Sitting at low prices on the one, high prices on the daily, right? We broke this key level, 56.82, coming back to retest it, right? I'll take these fibs out for now for a second. Those are lower time frame looks. So this is where we are, right? And you see, right? Just making those stair steps higher, not giving us deep retracements on the higher time frame. We got stochastic back in the buy zone. Okay, so we'll see what happens here, right? And we'll see what happens here. We did get the trend line break initially here, um, on that move down, but is this just another lower, higher low, right? Is this another higher low, and then we get price to extend to the upside? And maybe we come down and actually test this level, right? But ultimately looking for price to settle in and looking for another extension to the upside. right? So be patient here and wait for that swing low to form with that stochastic in the buy zone, and then we'll see if we get an opportunity to take another ride to the upside there. Okay, coming down to the 4. Run these fibs off the low now. Boom. All right. You see price coming back just shy of that 618 retracement level here on the smaller wave. All right. So we'll see what happens as we settle in there. Stochastic pressing into the buy zone on the 4 hour as well. All right. So we could get some confluence by the end of the day with both stochastics on the daily and the 4 hour in the buy zone if we get price to push down here to that support level. Okay. We're definitely going to watch this one to see where price settles in and see if we get another move back to the upside after all the results. Okay. Then on the 1, there's your larger fib there. That zone is right in our sweet spot. Stochastic in the sell zone currently. Okay. So we'll watch and see here how things work out, right? But if we're able to get price to settle in, stay inside that AB boundary, stay above this range, could be in for a nice ride. Okay, could be in for a nice ride to the upside. So we'll watch the S&P and see where things are, and see how things evolve. Okay, so that's the S&P 500. Questions? No, no.
Nope.
Benny, do you have any other pairs you want me to take a look at, bro?
Joy just put that oil, that 30-minute play that we had drew up. Looked like it went pretty good to the upside. We were looking at a play on the 30-minute chart. I think on Friday, or Thursday or Friday.
Yeah, I think it was Friday. Yeah, I think you're
Yeah,
right.
30 on a 30-minute that went pretty good. It made a good U-turn in the zone and moved higher. But other than that, that's it, man. So wait and see for me.
Waiting and seeing. That is the story. That is the story. Um, off that level there.
Yep, I believe that was it. Yep, off that low.
Beautiful move. Beautiful move
Yeah, but I ran a fib to the upside too off the
as
swing
well.
right
Boom.
there. That was it right there.
That's it there. Okay.
Yeah, that move. So we were
Nice
looking at.
work.
Yeah.
Nice work. 786 retracement. Almost at the D extension. Beautiful. Daily sub fib. I got you. Okay. So that played out. That 30-minute move, almost at the D extension. We'll come back to the daily. Retracement here, 8-6 level, stayed inside that AB boundary. We got the reversal, right? So what happens here? This will be interesting to see. This will be interesting to see what happens with oil um, as this election season wraps up. We shall see. We shall see. Price pushing to the upside currently, trying to get back into that buy zone. I mean, back into that sell zone at a level of resistance. So we'll watch and see. Boom. Okay, so this is a key level, 72.31, key level. All right. So let's see if we're able to break above or do we stay below and continue to press lower. Okay. So that will be interesting. Let's come to the 4. Run this off this level. Let's see. Let's see what happens. See what happens. And that level at 72 $72. Um, if we break above, then I can see us rising there. But if we stay below, we might even take out the $66 level and continue lower. Right. As we get as we've gotten closer and closer to this election day, you see things have gotten quieter as far as the coverage of things happening around the world. Um, so I expect that to also pick up after the election is done as well, right? So we'll hear more news about things that are happening around the world as the election ads wrap up and the next thing comes to be. So we'll watch this and see, right? If we get a pullback, there's also a chance for a head and shoulders pattern here as well. All right. So do we get some action like that potentially? We'll watch and see. We shall see. We shall see. All right. Great work on that 30-minute time frame. We'll see on a higher time frame if we get continuation at some point, right? Before price continue moving long there. Okay. Coming down to the one. And really we can just track the fibs here. That was a 786 retracement, almost at the D extension there. So that could be an AB boundary retracement for continuation there as well. Right here. All right. Once we get to that D extension, test that level, come back down and see if we settle in this range. Shall see. All right. So that is oil. That is oil. Great work, team. Anything else you guys got your eyes on that you want me to take a look at?
Did you do gold yet?
I did not take a look at gold.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Let's see, let's see, let's see. I haven't looked at gold in a minute, actually. It's personally on my chart. Um, so let's clean it up a bit. 80-20 on the daily, right? And got to swing how to form there. Stochastic pushing out of the sell zone. Swing high there. Caddy and pound cap. Okay. Well, let's see what happens here. Right. Let's see what happens. All right. We got tons of things happening. All right. We could get a move in either way here, in either direction here. But 80-20 on the daily, stochastic is not in that sell zone anymore. Right. So pushing to the buy zone. So do we get another move to the upside here? We'll watch and see. Coming down to the 4. Whoops. I'll reset that later. 80-20 on the 4. Okay. So we'll see if we push the forward D extension or if we get the retracement first. Okay. So 80-20 on both levels, the daily and the 4. So we'll watch and see how it evolves after election and leading into the rate statement on Thursday. Okay. So down on the 1. See what we have here. There we go. All right. That one got taken out as well. Choppy, choppy. So we're going to run back down to the downside. Oh, okay, there we go. It's trying to settle in there just inside that AB boundary. We'll see what happens. Stochastic and the cells on there. Beautiful 80-20 move to the downside. All right, so let's see if we're able to break above the cloud. If we're able to break above the cloud and get those confirmations, we could be on that move back to the upside. If we stay below, right, we could see that retracement first before we get that move back long. Okay. All right, so let's watch and see after the election, see where price sits ahead of that rate statement, and that could give us some more insight on where we could be tracking. Okay, but sitting in a nice spot right now. See if we stay inside that AB boundary or not. Okay, questions on gold? No. All right, cool deal. Let's take a look. CAD yen. This is the one that it's always going to be interesting because of the state of the Canadian dollar. Um, excuse me. Um, I am looking for price to ride a little bit higher here. We'll see if I get my wish or not, but I also got a potential crown pattern on the lower time frame that we'll take a look at. But indecision right now, right? We got a swing low to form here. Do we ride higher? Are we able to get back to this 112,708? We know the state of the yen. We talked about that earlier. Okay. um, we'll see if that Canadian dollar can pick up some steam as well. And give us a boost. So that was on the monthly time. I'm sorry, I put a daily support level. That's on the monthly time frame. I apologize on that. So that's there. And we'll bring that down. Coming here to the daily, right? Pushing along, we did get that swing high to form here, right? Just shy of that 118, 127 zone. Broke out of the cloud with bullish ahead. So do we get a pullback for a continuation here? Stochastic pushing into the buy zone. Okay, so do we get this move down 50% level? And then do we get that opportunity to get back long here against that yen? Okay. Um, definitely potential for that. So we'll watch and see how this one evolves. But even though the state of the Canadian dollar, I'm still bearish on yen. So I'm looking for high prices because I don't think that they're going to make changes on interest rates before March. So I think they are going to take their time. So we'll watch and see how this evolves. But pull back, low price, and then potentially getting long there. So that's on the daily, coming down to your 4. Here's your 80-20, right? Sitting in the zone. So 80-20 move to the downside on the caddy and on the 4. Okay, definitely could see that. Definitely could see that action. Okay. And then looking to get long from there. So there's one opportunity as well. Again, we'll see how things fare after the results tonight. As we get deep into the Asian session, we'll see where things sit. Okay. That is the CAD yen. Let's go down to the 1. See if we get some of the same. Took that out. Boom. All right, so that's just moving deeper in the zone then. All right, so that could take out the A if we get that deeper move on the higher time frame. Okay, but looking for more of a retracement nonetheless here, and then looking for a low price on the 4 to get long. Boom. My thoughts. What do you see on this one, Reese? Pound CAD. Same thing. Yep, for sure. For sure. Great work. Pound CAD. Sitting at high prices, man. Sitting at high prices. We got that rate statement for the pound coming later this week. That will give us some insight on where things currently stand. We don't have a new fib here. Boom. So just hovering at that B boundary level, stochastic pushing out of that sell zone, right? But we've just been stuck since September, right? Just been stuck. So we'll see how this one ultimately moves out of this consolidation. It's tightly wound right now. Super tight in there. So we'll see where things go. Come down to the 4. Take that out. I guess I needed that. This next fib didn't pop in, right? The extension achieved. Continue to run. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run smaller waves here. See where things are from this perspective. Not much doing, right? As we get tighter in that zone, not a ton happening. So let's watch and see here. Took that out as well. So not a ton there on the 4, right? We got a larger fib that we could draw in. So potential retracement from a larger perspective, similar to that daily. Right? No. Oh, no, that was shy. So D extension. 181, 129. Boom. So that's your capital fib on the 4, right? So just sitting high in the zone. We'll see what happens. This one is so tight, so in between. Wouldn't do much there from a higher time frame perspective. Coming down to the 1. Oops, am I tripping? Yep, I am tripping. Let me take this back. I've gotten the habit of drawing those there. Coming down to the 1. Those fibs got taken out. So did those. Deep retracement there. Rate statement coming later in the week. Let's see. All right. If we sit here in this zone and we don't take out that A, after that rate statement, we could potentially see a move back down to the downside. But it depends on where the Bank of England falls when it comes to their decision there. So we'll watch this and see. But for me, not a ton happening. Could potentially see the CDD move, getting us back to 178, 404. Yeah, let's watch that and see. Let's see how price moves there. All right. Um, that one's super tight, super tight. But that's the pound CAD. Questions here? No doubt. No doubt.
No, sir.
Cool deal. Benny, what is the natural gas symbol that you are using? You have that off top.
It's
For
in
Joe.
gas.
In gas is what it is? Okay.
Yep.
Make sure I have the right one. Last time I was looking at something weird. George said we had to move on 80-20 on the 15, so we'll march down there. um,
Yeah, I was looking at a 1 hour play where I drew the trend line, and it broke trend line 2 on the 1.
on the one. Okay.
Uh,
Still range bound here. This is gonna be a nice move once it gets going. Down to the 4. I'm gonna run fibs off of the low. Come here. Six one eight. Just shy of a 618 retracement there. Nice bullish action. Getting a pullback right now, but trying to break the cloud on the 4. Stochastic in the sell zone. Pullback, potential continuation to the upside. Let's come down to the 1. Ooh, 80-20 down. B boundary to the upside. Boom. 786 retracement. There's your trend line break. Boom. Cloud break as well. Stochastic in the buy zone. Pullback and continuation on this. Nice work. Benny and Joy. Nice work on that. Strong move up. Strong move up.
Thank you, sir.
It's gonna be a nice one. It's gonna be a nice one. Let's go down to the 30. Similar story, right? Boom. So let's do this. See if we can get a pullback into our sweet spot. 618 level, retest some previous highs here, and then continue this move to the upside. I like it. I like it. I like it. Boom. And there's your story on the 15. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Great work, guys. So I'll see if we get this pullback. We might not. But if we're able to get a pullback into the sweet spot, since I missed that entry, might look at that, snag one of those to the upside there. Beautiful. That's net gas moving
Hey,
long. 1
hey,
hour,
Brian,
lower time frames. Joy, what's up?
on that 4 hour, so you got the 50 and the 200, like right there. It can be a break and retest of that area,
Right here at this low?
right where price is at now on the 4 hour.
Oh, okay.
So price is sitting literally on the 50, on top of the 50 and on top of the 200, like it's like right there. So it can be a break and retest from right there from that level.
Gotcha. Okay.
If it don't come back and try to take up for that engulfing, if.
Yeah. All right. Appreciate that heads up. All right. Doesn't that gas get people, right? Looking for some buying opportunities there. Questions? Anything that we covered this morning? No?
Nope.
All right. The people continue to be patient. Let's allow this day to complete, and let's see where things fall. All right. We're back at it tomorrow morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for the pre-New York session. We'll see what results are. We'll see where the market sits. We'll see how the market responded, and we'll prep for a rate decision on Thursday from the BOE and the United States. All right. Till then, you guys have a phenomenal day. Peace.